Transit of Jupiter in 6th house from Virgo moon sign. The dates start from 5th of April 2021 till 14th September 2021. Transit of Jupiter in 6th house from moon sign Virgo. The dates start from 5th of April 2021 till 14th September 2021. During this particular period, Jupiter will move through your 6th house from moon sign Virgo. This signifies trouble in the most of this particular phase. You tend to raise your enemies by being involved in unnecessary arguments, conflicts with your own people, family, friends, colleagues, senior, junior, you name it. Your own people around you. You also likely to create an enmity between you and your master, between you and your guru, your mentor, your guide. Beware of enemies at this time. They might trouble you more than ever because they know all your secrets. So be careful. Health-wise, Virgo would require attention at this time. You may feel unhappy even when you are in a best condition. May tend to become restless, hurt, full of grief. Take care to avoid slackness in health and diseases. You'll have the more attentive in your field of work. There's a chance that you might lose some money or property during this phase. Beware of thieves, thugs at fireplace, lost due to fire at your workplace. Even higher authority will punish you. If employed, maintain a good rapport with your employer and colleagues to avoid any disfavor with them or any arguments or conflict with them. It would be better to postpone new enterprise, new venture, new project, or start of a new project. This may not be the right time to start something very new, please. Your relationship with your spouse may have to be handled very carefully and sensibly. Avoid any kind of arguments with your partner and stay away from litigation of any kind with anybody. Jupiter in 6th house, this is a good timing for any kind of work and for fulfilling duties that contribute to your personal growth. This transit indicates good health, with one exception as noted below. Very often the demand of the house come into conflict with your own personal growth and especially freedom, for this is the house of fulfillment of duty, responsibility, service. Your ego needs are gratified here only at the level of that most people cannot readily understand. But with Jupiter in this house, you are able to make progress in the world precisely because these matter and you realize that. Work is fulfilling and enjoyable to you, now giving you a sense of purpose and structure of your life. Quite often this comes about through an improved job condition, better working condition, even a new job with better pay or opportunity for you self-fulfillment. But you're likely to advance to a position of greater power or standing at this time. This is a period of work you'll achieve the most satisfaction simply by doing the work as well as you can to the highest possible standard. You're quite ready to take on even more work. If you can't, or even though you possibly won't be promoted, you will certainly gain the esteem of your superior and those under you, which will ultimately put you in a very good position. This is usually an excellent period for health because Jupiter gives you body physically strength and vitality and vigor and vitality. However, you do have to be careful about gaining weight in both the fortunate, less fortunate meaning of the term. This is a growth transit on the physical level. If for some reason your body has to heal or recover from an illness, this transit, it will assist the process. But you should be careful of fat or sweet food, for they will not only cause you to gain weight, but they will not be very good for your digestive system or tummy or lower abdomen. Avoid any kind of overindulgence. Whenever you face any of these situations, complications, difference of opinion between you and the family members, loss of health of your family member, bad debts, loss of gold due to cheating, deception and theft, lack of cooperation. First house is empty, then please do the following task and situations. Never ever insult the family members. Task number 2, do make good relationship with your father. 3, Try to keep dog as a pet or donate dog home, dog feed in your routine. Fourth, do donate 6 kg chana dal and 600 gram haldi powder to temple in the langar. First Thursday, 6th Thursday, 9th Thursday. 5. Do donate dog food to dog home. Please do donate food and money to 6 religious priests. 6 stars. Refrain from eating non-vegetarian food. Refrain from consuming any form of alcohol, please. Transit of Jupiter, again in the 5th house from Virgo moon sign. The dates start from 14 September 2021 till 20th of November 2021. During this particular period, Jupiter will move through your 3rd house from your moon sign Virgo. This brings an indisposition along with some other hurdles in your particular phase of life. Financially, this may not be a good phase for you, as you are likely to face obstacles in business, failures in your undertaking, failures in your attempts. Virgo, you are also likely to lose some money. At work, you may have to be very cautious enough to keep your position or rank at work. You are also likely to face opposition of your employer or your colleagues during this particular phase. Stay away from any kind of arguments with your siblings, friends, family, as it might lead to a fight and arguments with them. You are also likely to lose a relative or friend during this particular phase. Your health as well as health of your spouse would demand extra attention, as you both may become susceptible to various health issues during this particular phase. You may also suffer from other hardships, mental anxieties. Avoid undertaking any journey during this particular period. You might incur some loss in it. On the other hand, some of you may also perform some auspicious deeds or even consider getting married. Jupiter in 3rd house. The effect of this transit is to increase your contacts through and within your immediate surroundings. You will not have to go very far from your everyday world to find experiences that expand your perception of the world and increase your level of consciousness. This may manifest itself in several ways. First of all, it's quite likely that through your everyday life, you will receive an opportunity for advanced training in a field of study that could be useful to you. Your concern with communication will increase and you may have to do some writing, even this is not one of your usual activities, but you will do. During this particular period, extended travel may be necessary for some reason, but you will come out of it understanding a lot more about your world. Your relationship with relatives, brothers, sisters, cousins, etc. will be carrying on, will be very good. It's quite possible that you may receive some kind of financial benefit from them, but this is not only the way they could benefit you. Perhaps more important in the long run is the possible effect of this transit upon your mind and consciousness. Old thoughts, patterns, attitudes that you have adopted more or less unconsciously or that you don't think very much about consciously will be broadened and expanded. Your thinking will be less subject to the limitation imposed by these attitudes. Consequently, your attitude toward the world around you will be much more generous, understanding and tolerant of other people's differences. You're less likely to be influenced by prejudice. Instead of, you will want to know everything on the basis of your experience. No doubt. Your plans, Virgo, for the future will be larger, more expansive. You will realize that many of your limitations that you thought were imposed from without are actually self-imposed. Also, in looking at the world, Virgo, you take more factors into consideration and plan more effectively than you might at other times. Virgo, just be careful not to go to the opposite extreme and overdo it. Don't overdo things. Don't commit yourself to the project that you cannot possibly fulfill. As a general rule, communication with others is better than usual now. You are able to say what is in your mind and you are less subject to failures of communication. At the same time, you are frank, willing to talk about every aspect of given problem, whether it is related to you emotionally or some situation in some sort of outer world. So whenever you're going to face of these situations, empty 10th house in your moon chart, moon is occupied by 12th house, Saturn is occupied in the 4th house, loss due to deception, cheating, theft, bad company, foul company you're in, that do raise Jupiter with these tasks. Task number 1, do organize Kanya Pujan in the temple and donate girls green dresses, sweets and money, and do it again and again and take their blessings. Task number 2, do lots of Durga Upasana. Ang Harim Sharim Kalim Chamundaya Viche, 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 Ang Harim Sharim Kalim Chamundaya Viche. More you do it, more you achieve it.